Yeah, so I mean, here we are. We're obviously right at the police station. This is 4 Precinct. They serve the University District. What we know now is multiple officers discharged their weapon at a suspect with a knife, at least one knife. That suspect is deceased.
You know, man or a woman?
Male.
Any idea how officers came upon the person with the knife?
So I'll defer intimate details of investigation to CPD, but it's my understanding that they were dealing with this individual earlier in the day, maybe perhaps had some mental health crisis. MCR was out. They chose to disengage, tactically disengage, and this man, hours later, approached officers at the substation.
So it didn't happen inside that home? We were told
No.
it happened at 235. Was it just on the street or in the alley?
It was in the alley right behind the substation. Apparently the officers were at the substation when the individual approached them.
No officers injured or anything like that?
No officers injured. Again, it shows the dangers our officers face. Our officers are literally at a police station, which you think would be one of the safest places for one of our officers. But it's why we always tell our officers, keep your head in a swivel, always be aware of your surroundings, and you never know what you're going to face.
Brian, we've seen, you mentioned maybe a potential mental health call. We've seen several of those here recently. Can you just talk about the challenges that the officers face, with some of these calls?
Sure. I mean, it's a great deal of what we do. Officers, we are literally the dumping grounds of all government services. So whether it's a wire down, mental health, you name it, the officers are going to be dispatched to deal with it. The good thing is our officers, the overwhelming majority of our officers are CIT trained. Columbus police officers and F.O.P members are some of the best trained in mental health. But at the end of the day, an individual has a knife or two, either trying to kill you or kill themselves. How much can you do? Who do you want to send? The argument is usually, well, get a social worker. Find me a social worker at 2 in the morning in an alley who's going to approach an individual with a knife. I assure you, they don't exist.
How many officers were involved in this, in firing the weapons?
I don't have exact number. I'll defer to division. I just know it was multiple members.
And you said the mental health team was deployed earlier in the day, but was disengaged, and then this gentleman just showed back up. I know you're going to defer to them for the details, but I just make sure I heard you right.
It's my understanding, officers I talked to that earlier on the day, officers were at the scene of the house you questioned with the MCR, the Mobile Crisis Response Team.
So does he live right there?
I don't know if he lived there, but that's where the call was. And there's certain criteria when we could take somebody into custody or pink slip them. It's not illegal to be in a mental crisis. If you're not a harm to yourself or others, there's only so much we could do as officers.
Anything else at this point?
No, again, you tell your viewers, it just shows the dangers our officers face 24/7. Even here on campus at 2 in the morning at a substation, you never know what you're going to come across.